future truckers, Shelton here. If you were performing an alley dock off of this street and backing through this gate, one of these entry paths would make the task more complicated than you may think. Which path would you choose for your driver's side tandems to follow? Today we'll find out which path I would choose and why. Before we get to that, I'd like to take a moment to say thanks to a fellow YouTuber. You may already be aware of his trucking channel since he's been making videos a lot longer than I have. He recently stumbled upon my videos and reached out in the comment section telling me that he loved what I was doing here and that suggested that I'd given him a few fresh ideas for his own videos. I was very flattered, and since he has way more subscribers than I do, I said it would be great if you could give me a little shout out. Well, to my surprise, he opened his next video with more than a bit of a shout out. This was like a 1-minute long advertisement for my channel, where he put together highlights from some of my videos and said nothing but great things about my content. He didn't have to do that. It was above and beyond anything I was expecting, and it just shows what type of person he is and how much he cares about helping new truck drivers. So if you haven't already done so, head on over to the My Trucking Skills YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button and that notification bell. He has plenty of helpful videos. He's even developed a PC game you can download and practice backing maneuvers on your computer. I'll put a few links in the description below. Today's stop is a small lumberyard and building material supplier in East St. Louis. They unload flatbeds in this area out front, but I'll be making my delivery to this dock in the rear of the building. I'll be backing in off the street through this gate, following a path shaped like this. I always take a visual survey of the area and make a mental note of any obstacles that could pose an accident risk. The most obvious here would be the 2 fence posts. This fence post and this truck will be on my blind side. One of my students asked me, "How can you be sure that you're not going to hit something on the blind side?" Well, you can get out and look, of course, which is never a bad idea. But to be honest, I don't have to do that as often as I used to. As I pass the gates opening, I'll compare the width of the entrance to the width of my trailer. Then I'll pick out an intended path and something on the ground along that path to serve as a tire target. If I know where my driver's side tires are, I have a good idea about the passenger side. The further away from this fence post my driver's side tires are, the closer the tires on the blind side will be to this post. Knowing exactly where your trailer tires are at all times is critical. I know my trailer tires will follow a curved path shaped like this. I try to determine exactly where I want this path to be ahead of time, so I know when to stop pulling forward during my setup. Let's talk about this curb. I never advocate running over curbs with your trailer tires. In most cases, I can avoid it, but I'm going to make an exception here for a couple of reasons. I can see by the tire tracks on the ground that trucks run over this area often. There are many possible paths I can take here. It can, in some cases, make a significant difference in which one I choose. Why would it benefit me to approach via this path versus this one? It would make things easier in a couple of ways, and I think it's essential for new drivers to understand this. If I put up a line here representing the trailer's progress as it travels from right to left towards the gate's opening, you can see a big difference. If I chose this path, my trailer tires would end up here. Notice that after choosing the more shallow of the 2 paths, after traveling the same distance, my tires would end up further that way. Why is that important? Because whatever distance the trailer tires progressed in that direction, the tractor moved by the same amount away from this curb. That's important because I'll need to swing the tractor back around to the front of the trailer, and now I've created a cushion of space to do that safely. There are obstacles along here. That's why I refer to this as the danger zone. This metal pole directly across from the entrance will limit my ability to pull forward or even get back to the front of the trailer if I don't create that space. There's another benefit to taking the more shallow path here. Because I'm offsetting or alley docking off a relatively narrow street, choosing this as my tire target would result in a more severe offset angle between my tractor and trailer. Here's another crucial difference I've noticed between experienced and new drivers who struggle with backing. New drivers spend a lot more time with the tractor and trailer at a 90-degree angle than experienced drivers. When you are pushing against the side of the kingpin, the trailer rotates much faster. And as you know, it takes longer to get from here back to the front of the kingpin. Be aware of the time you spend with your tractor in this position. I want to keep my time in this position as brief as possible. I'm able to minimize my time on the side of the kingpin by pulling up a little farther during setup and utilizing the properties of the offset law to offset more gradually. That allows me to get back to the front of the kingpin incrementally and a little quicker. I want to hug this left side and pull past the entrance to get set up here. Once my trailer tires start to approach my intended path, I'll turn to the right Then straighten the tractor back so it's pointing down the street.